Tonight, the two-time defending SFL champion Alaska Storm take on the Baltimore Vultures, who head to the I for the very first time. The Vultures' early exits in the Season 11 playoff picture hope to rebound and shock the world tonight as they start Alaska's defense of their championship with a loss. Baltimore and Alaska is next here on Twitch. Let's go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the I in Anchorage, Alaska. 15 degrees. It is chilly and cold, but we are fired up and ready for tonight's ball game. Along with Lee Pato on stats, Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
Cam, 65 days. That's how long we've been without action here in the SFL. That's since Tallahassee and Alaska took it to the field in a great championship game back on October 30th, 22-17, with Alaska winning their back-to-back championship, the first one here in the SFL. But let's talk about this matchup, Cam. Night one here in the SFL. The last time these two teams met up was February 26, 2017, Season 8. When Baltimore wasn't even the Vultures, Cam, they were the Crabs. And they were able to defeat Alaska 30-23. And Cam, there's some names back then that you'll recognize, and some of our diehards will recognize. The quarterback for Alaska, Murdoch Mock. The quarterback for Baltimore, a little-known name, Andrew Rastelli, the director of player personnel now. Optimus Klein, the big wide receiver, was a tight end at the time. So was Daley Holder, a wide receiver from Baltimore. So some great little trivia that we're going to talk a little bit more later on in this game. But let's get it on, Cam.
We're all ready to go. It's Season 12 on the SFL Network on Twitch. Shark Turkington kick it. We're underway. From the 7-yard line, this is Paul on the return up to the 25. And Ron Cochran comes out for the first time. And Stephen, what do you like about this Alaska offense?
There's nothing to dislike. I mean, this is an Alaska offense that has been predicated on passing the ball and being very efficient doing so. Cochran under center last season, 35 touchdowns, 25 interceptions, and a league-leading 76% completion percentage.
Alaska's in the all-blue, and Cochran will start the night with a pass, and that's outside, complete to Optimus Klein, a pickup of 3 yards. And for Alaska, that's a good start and a familiar connection.
Yeah, there's probably no better connection here in the league. Klein with 113 receptions last season for over 1,500 yards and 9 touchdowns. Something different than the season before, Cam. We saw Optimus Klein get in the end zone much more. Let's see how this season starts out for the big guy.
2nd down and 7 at the 28, and Cochran will hand it off to Robert Merrill, and he's stuffed in the backfield by Joe Dazzo and Amon Takes, and this linebacking duo last season took the world by storm.
Yeah, and it's Dazzo has been doing it for a long time there in the backfield. This is his 7th, actually 8th going in. Oh, excuse me, the 7th SFL season for him, and Amon Takes, the great rookie from last year.
So now it's 3rd down and 8 for Cochran, and Cochran's pass, good pocket, is incomplete. Giovanni Bolt in coverage on Klein deep down the field. And how about the Vultures? They go 3 and out, or their defense forces a 3 and out on their opening possession.
Well, Cochran's got to be careful. Baltimore has their own triangle of Pro Bowlers back there, and Takes, Kaz McFly, and Giovanni Bolt. These three Pro Bowlers make it a very dangerous prospect to try and get into that secondary, try to pass anything in there. That's kind of their Bermuda Triangle. They're calling it the Baltimore Triangle.
So that's the start for the Vultures here on the road. And for Baltimore on the return, that is, who is that back there? I think that might be Daley Holder. And it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line for Mike Dazzo and this experienced offense, but with a few wrinkles.
Yeah, Cam, we saw one of their bigger wrinkles in the preseason was T. Roy Gaines, the second-year running back, 6'2", 240, ran for over 1,200 yards last season. A bit of a hammer back there.
So Dazzo starts things off with a handoff to T. Roy Gaines running right, and Gaines got his face mask ripped off. That's a me undies laundry on the field, and we're going to get the call here.
Face mask, number 47, defense.
That face mask is called on Mark Myers at inside linebacker, and that will result in a first down to the 44-yard line.
Well, no doubt. This defense knows it's going to be a big task to bring down Gaines, the big fella, and they're doing it out there by any means necessary. But I think you may be able to attribute that, Cam, to just the jitters of getting this season started again, and this defense really being keyed up, knowing it's going to be a big part of their job to limit Gaines tonight.
1st and 10 at the 44 after the face mask penalty. And Dazzo's going to drop the throw, and Dazzo fires it complete. That's a pickup of 6 yards over to Bishop, or excuse me, that's Cody Apollo with his first catch. Well, MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Use the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy. MeUndies, 2nd down and 4 at the 38-yard line of Alaska. Dazzo's pass is caught in heavy traffic by Lee Weber for the first down to the 29-yard line, and we saw plenty of Lee Weber in the preseason.
Yeah, we did, Cam. Really, the rookie, the undrafted rookie, 6'6", 256, was a star in the preseason, really opened some eyes up there. Baltimore just really schemed him open, Cam, with trips to the left, send the big tight end out by himself, and single one-on-one coverage.
6 there on the line, 7 if you count the Davidson there to the far side. Gaines takes a carry up the middle. Carroll is there for the stop, just a pickup of 2 yards with 8:20 to go here in the first quarter. And so far, Dazzo 2 of 2 for 15 yards, and Gaines has 1 carry for 2.
And you can see the balanced attack that Baltimore brings, and it's going to be tough for Alaska, but remember, they were undefeated last season, so it's a bit of a giant that Baltimore has to slay.
Dazzo's pass is almost caught by Apollo off of his initial drop. Warfield was also in the area, but that'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Cam, and a lot of congestion in that area. And when you've got a tipped ball like that, boy, that's really dangerous, as this Alaska secondary is known for taking those turnovers and making them into big gains for their offense.
3rd down and 8 at the 27-yard line for Dazzo, in scoring position in a scoreless quarter as we kick off season 12. Dazzo to pass out of the shotgun, fires it down the field, caught by Holder in traffic and dragging. I believe that's Ryan Davidson. No, not in coverage, but a first down to the 12. Excellent throw from Mike Dazzo.
And Daley Holder's a name that we all know if you've been following this league for any amount of time. This is a guy that was a superstar when he was in San Antonio, opted to take a lesser role to come here in Baltimore, but he's being rewarded this season a starting role and coming up with a big catch early.
Alaska making the tackle to save the touchdown. That, I believe, was was Ryan Davidson there, who's wearing number 27 now. Caught me off guard as Gaines picks up 3 on the little swing route to the Alaska 9-yard line.
And that's a big part of Gaines' game. He is a great receiver out of the backfield. 84 receptions last season, more than a lot of SFL wide receivers. Also had 3 touchdowns. So he can be used as a multi-tool weapon in this offense, and Baltimore plans to use him plenty this season.
2 receivers, 1 to either side, and Dazzo's going to drop the pass. He's in some trouble, and Mike Dazzo goes down. It'll be 3rd down and 15 as Alaska gets their first sack of season 12.
Well, you knew it would only be a matter of time. Big, sexy Alex Dominguez, a whopping 38.5 sacks last season, 46 tackles for a loss. This guy has been the absolute defensive premier player in the SFL for a long time.
3rd down and 15, 4 receivers, 2 to either side as Alaska gets a sack. Dazzo stepping up in the pocket, fires through a mess of traffic, and Alaska forces a field goal attempt out of Tarkington on Baltimore's first possession. There was nowhere to go with that football, and for those wondering, for the link to buy some or support some SFL partners and help support the SFL, they're down there in the ad scroll, and a couple actually aren't active until tomorrow, unfortunately. So just stay tuned there down at the bottom of the screen, and Stephen will get your thoughts in a moment on that last incompletion, as Baltimore will come out for a 33-yard field goal attempt for Tarkington to try to make it a 3-point game, and the kick is good, and Baltimore has a 3-0 advantage early.
Well, Cam, what we saw is Alaska winning the game here at the line of scrimmage, able to get pressure on Dazzo, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, make him move a little bit there in those last two plays. And when you can do that, there's an opportunity there for turnovers, for incomplete passes, as the quarterback obviously feels rushed.
So 6:25 to go in the first, 3-0. Baltimore on top early, but they have the momentum as Alaska's come out a little sluggish, 1 for 1 for 3 yards, but it is a very early game, and we know Alaska is a second-half team. This return from Joshua Paul up to the 24-yard line. So now let's meet Baltimore's defense, and Stephen, what do they like to do?
Oh, they like to dominate the line of scrimmage. They have one of the best, if not the best, linebacker core in the league, so you know that they're going to be able to control the run. And they have a secondary that has some of the best playmakers in the league. They are an absolute complete defense.
Of course, you got the no McFly zone as well on the outside. Robert Merrill struggling to find any space, but 2nd down and 7 coming up, and that'll bring us into the booth. Hello, everybody, from SFL headquarters. Why the long beard? A lot of work. That's what I gotta say.
Hey, there may be a sponsor that might be able to help you with that beard, actually.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the program, I'm sure. As it's 2nd down and 7 from the 27-yard line, and Cochran's pass is caught by Jeff Como for a 1st down out to the 37.
Well, boy, what a great season Jeff Como had last year, Cam. The number 3 wide receiver for Alaska Storm for the last couple of seasons, their championship runs. Now he's earned a starting role beside Optimus Klein, with Robert Merrill going to running back.
Wow, 150 bits for Cam. Cam, I'm honored. 1st and 10 at the 37. And Cochran flips it outside to Merrill, and Merrill tried to make a couple people miss. Great tackle by Dazzo in the open field. Stephen, if we had the Stephen Cam, how many bits do you think you'd get?
Yeah, I'd probably have to pay people to actually look at that Cam. So, hey, that's good for you, man. 150 bits for you to be on camera. I think they overpaid.
Hey, thanks. 2,500 bits from AJ Pick 6, supporting the SFL tonight. Really appreciate that.
Nice.
He rockets up to the top of the bit leaderboard here as Cochran will again flip it out to Merrill, stops on a dime, and then Merrill is slammed down to the 43-yard line to pick up 3rd down and 5. Alaska has moved the chains now, but Kaz McFly makes that stop for another 3rd down.
Well, we certainly know Merrill can make those kind of catches. He was a wide receiver and the most consistent one for the Storm in their franchise history for a long time. Now making the conversion and the change over to running back, it's going to be an interesting thing to follow this season.
4:20 to go in the first. Hand off to Merrill, and he gets slammed down by Joe Dazzo to pick up 4th down. Dazzo has been all over the field here early, and Alaska will have to punt again.
Ouchtown population, you bro. What a hit right there by the veteran Dazzo and Merrill. Welcome to playing running back. You know, you're not on the outside anymore. You're not going to be able to run those quick slant routes. You're going to have to man up here in this league if you're going to try and take it between the tackles as a running back. Boy, a nice little welcome sent there by the veteran linebacker.
1,100 bits from Warhammer 62, getting ready for his season in San Francisco as that return gets up to the 21-yard line for Baltimore. And back comes Mike Dazzo and this Alaska Storm defense led by Andrew Francis now at safety.
Yeah, that's a kind of a bit of a weird transition, but if you think about what the responsibilities are for a strong safety, which his main responsibility is controlling the run and being able to catch those running backs. He's been doing that for years at a linebacker spot. So now the question is, how well can he cover? He's been a pretty good, maybe not even just pretty good, a great player. And we got a sack here.
Dazzo goes down for a loss of 7. That's the second sack of the first quarter for Alaska, and this one is the newcomer, Kevin Bain.
Hey, boy, this offseason, the addition of Bain to this defensive line was keeping offensive coordinators across the SFL awake at night because they were having nightmares at the possibility of what this combo could do. And we're starting to see signs of it here as Baltimore is pushed back way into the shadow of their goalpost.
The Bain train, as he's being called in the chat room here tonight. 2nd and 17 at the 13. Dazzo, another push up front. Deep shot, caught by Holder at the 35, a pickup of 18 yards. What a throw, or actually doing the math here, that's 14-yard pickup for Holder.
And what a beautiful pass, right on the money by Dazzo. No fear being that far back near your goal line. Just going to make really what it looked like. He made it look like an easy throw, but he just connected an accurate lob pass right to his receiver, where all the receiver had to do was put his arms out and catch it.
1st and 10 of the 35. Hand off to Gaines at the middle, breaking a tackle, picks up 6. That's his best run of the night on his just second carry, although with the face mask, it didn't necessarily wipe away his first carry, but lots of complicated math to do with that. Terrible. 2nd 3.
and it's amazing. Suddenly, they're on their own 41-yard line. They were sniffing their own end zone just a moment ago.
2 receivers, 1 to either side. Handoff, Gaines. Gaines is the first down up to the 48-yard line. Gaines now 3 carries for 18 yards, thanks to Lee Pato holding it down in our live stats crew.
And Cam, it's borderline unfair that a guy that's built like a tank, that puts out so much punishment, is able to run with that kind of burst of speed through the line. It's incredible what defensive coordinators are having to go up against every game when they face Baltimore.
Alongside Stephen Millenex, I'm Cameron Irvine. Lee Pato on live stats. That pass is caught to the outside. That's the first catch of his career for Bishop Warfield. The rookie, Evan Carroll, puts him down just shy of the first down.
Yeah, we saw a bit of this in the preseason, sending 2 receivers out to the same area usually is disaster for teams because you're bunching up the defenders as well. But, SFL teams, and specifically Baltimore, like to use that to give their wide receiver a blocker instantly to get more yardage.
Gaines takes another handoff, gets a block. Oh, what a move by Gaines! Blocked down the field, 20-15, down to the 11-yard line, first down, Baltimore. That was an outstanding cut from T-Roy.
Well, Cam, this guy is a running back who looks to blow up defenders, and you saw him lower his shoulder there, but to his amazement, the blocking was so good, nobody touched him. And he's just able to use that speed burst again that we saw earlier in this game to gobble up all that green. Just a terrific gain here by T-Roy Gaines.
4 carries for 46 yards. Pato's on the money there behind the scenes for us. He needs a raise. 1st and 10 at the 11. 48 seconds to go in the first. 3-0 Baltimore now on the move back in the red zone. Gaines will not get anything. Really nice pursuit. Stringing that along to the outside. And he'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Francis on the tackle.
Yeah, well, if you're going to stop that take, you got to send more than 1 defender in there. Alaska gets 3 on number 35 there, and they're able to take him down, although it's still a sketchy proposition the way that he's running on this series.
2nd down and 10. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. 2 backs and 2 receivers. And Dazzo, boy, Gaines is in trouble big time. That's a 5-yard loss as Big Sexy blows him up in the backfield.
Well, it's 6'2", 290. Big Sexy's going to win that battle every time. And look, people have been amazed and still haven't figured out a way to stop Big Sexy.
That is the end of the first quarter of play. Your score, Baltimore 3, Alaska nothing. This is the Simulation Football League on Twitch, presented by APM Music. Third down and 15 for Mike Dazzo at the 16-yard line. And Dazzo avoids a sack and then gets hit from behind, a 3-yard loss. Alaska will force another field goal. Big Sexy in the vicinity once again. And Bain may have gotten to him.
And I think, yeah, you're right, Cam. This Bain-Dominguez connection in this combo, it's early on and into the season, and we didn't know exactly how this would wreck offenses here. Baltimore perfectly ready for this, Cam. Spread out, no running back in the backfield, just can't find anybody open.
This is a 36-yard field goal for Baltimore to go up 6-0, and that field goal is good from Shark Tarkington, and it's back to, or it's now, I should say, a 6-point lead for the Vultures.
And you got to be somewhat encouraged if you're Baltimore, the fact that you're able to come into the eye, a place where so many other SFL teams have been defeated, and able to get at least a 6-point lead here at this point against the reigning champion. But you'd like to obviously see those field goals turn into touchdowns, and you know that it's only a matter of time before you're out of the eye of the storm and in it completely.
Paul back to return for Alaska as Tarkington kicks it away from the 6-yard line for the Storm. They haven't had a ton of excellent field position, and they won't there either. The Simulation Football League is sponsored by, well, we'll figure that out here in a moment. Sponsored by APM Music, Custom Music Library, and Production Music House, and we'll get more to that in a moment. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line, 10:16 to go for Alaska. As Cochran drops back to pass, wide open, pass complete, did get the first down, a pickup of 10 yards to the 33-yard line.
And this is what the Storm's offense is known for, the great scheming of owner and longtime really type Bill Belichick type coach here in the SFL for us in Max Paul. He is able to scheme these wide receivers open, giving Cochran there just an open window to get the easy lob and catch there to his receiver.
Alaska just 2-star wide receivers. That's not as many as they usually employ. And look at Robert Merrill fighting for a first down, but Joe Dazzo all the way across the field saves the first down. What a play.
Yeah, Cam, they may not have, the 3 wide receivers, star receivers that they normally have, but let's not forget that Merrill's going to play that dual role for them. So nice reception there. That he's not going to drop the ball out of the backfield. But as you mentioned, a good play by Dazzo. I'm sure the veteran, though, wishes he got to him earlier.
Jose Galliano had that first down catch back a couple of plays ago. 2nd down and inches, and Cochran with a quick throw. Pass is complete to Andrew Holmes for another Alaska first down, and Cochran really mixing it up on this drive.
And the offensive coordinator giving Cochran a buffet of open wide receivers. Could have gone out to the left-hand side to, I believe, the fullback that was out there ready to make the catch as well. So really he's seeing a better scheme, and they're learning this Baltimore defense a little bit better.
Cochran 7 of 8 for 44 yards, first down and 10 at the Baltimore 48, and that pass is dropped by Galliano out on the far side. Let's try this again. The Simulation Football League is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. By Bit Central, who's presenting Fuel, changing the SFL in 2019. By Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. And Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL. This is a 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line, and play action from Cochran going long. It is incomplete as Thornberry laid out for that one. First time tonight we get to call Hendricks Thornberry's name, and he forces a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the wild Thornberry there actually sacrificing the body. 11 pass defense last season, 4 interceptions. They're just a good job to get any part of his body there extended enough to disrupt that play. And that leads us to a long 3rd and 10.
3rd down at the 48-yard line of Baltimore. This has been Alaska's most productive drive, but trying to make sure it doesn't stall out here. Cochran back to throw. Deep ball down the field is caught. 20, 10. And that's where it'll be stopped. First and goal for the Storm. That's Jeff Como on the outside.
Well, 2 back-to-back deep attempts. The first one doesn't connect, but the second one, a corner route to Como, is a perfection of a throw there. Although Como did have to turn around to catch that, but the defender wasn't looking at the quarterback. The defender was trying to catch up to Como, who had gained just enough separation for his veteran quarterback to find him.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, social media /SimulationFL. Hashtag make an impact now at this point. And the handoff that's Jason Williams, the fullback, who made an impact on season 11. And that's his first carry of the night. It was kind of a quiet night so far for Williams before that carry.
Yeah, I didn't exactly know how that combo of Merrill and Williams was going to work in the backfield. Maybe thinking that Williams would take more of a backseat role as more of a blocker for Merrill. But still, we know that he can be a very effective runner.
Merrill in his first game at running back takes his 4th carry, and he has 4 yards, or 3 yards rather, tonight. And he's having a bit of a tough start to his career at running back as Alaska's trying to go for that Ty Montgomery, Cordell Patterson magic.
Yeah, and it just hasn't worked. You know, of all the teams to have that debut against, boy, to get Baltimore and their talented linebacker core, that's a tough get.
3rd and goal from the 6. Alaska trying to tie the game. Cochran against a 4-man rush. Pass intercepted at the goal line. What a play by Tony Willis against his former team. That is unbelievable.
But we hadn't mentioned his name yet tonight. He's going to get more than a mention now. He's going to get a highlight for the highlight reel there. As what a one-handed interception by the veteran safety. A lot of people thought Willis should have been a Pro Bowler last year, Cam. Shows you why. 98 tackles, 11 pass defense, 4 interceptions last season. But what an individual play to say, you ain't getting a score here at Alaska.
Now the Vultures going to have to be careful. Don't want to give up a safety against Dominguez or Bain. And Gaines does a nice job of getting out of the shadow of his own end zone. Now 46 yards on a gain of about 5.5.
Yeah, and there's maybe a handful of backs that you actually really trust to run the ball here, even on 3rd down if you needed them to. The way Gaines has been running, I think they feel very confident they can get out of this bad field position.
2nd and 6 at the 7. Hand off to Gaines. Gaines hurdles over a defender, but not much there as Francis and Ryan Davidson combine on the stop. Ryan Davidson wearing 27, Stephen, is freaking me out. He's been 44 for so long, and we didn't see Alaska in the preseason.
No, we didn't. You're right. And so just have to, a lot of these new names, a lot of these new numbers we're going to get accustomed to. Going to have to accustom to. Big 3rd down here, though, Cam. 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 at the 9. Dazzo back to pass. Fires. Caught. Warfield to the 18-yard line. A perfect throw from Dazzo, who's now 7 of 9.
And, boy, I love the play call there. Send your undrafted rookie, but your number 1 wide receiver on this short out route just past the sticks. You know how I love that. I hate them throwing those 3rd downs short of the sticks. There, he makes sure the rookie gets past it. Good job by the first-year player.
5:45 to go in the first half. Dazzo deep, drop back, now fires far side, or near side rather, but far side of the field for Mike. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Holder on the sideline with 5:38 to go.
That's a rare misconnection there. Holder had no defender around him as Dazzo takes the real deep drop, and Alaska sent the defenders back past the 1st down marker. So a missed opportunity. Let's see if they can make it up here on 2nd down.
Mr. Aquaman saying, wow, that score stream app is ridiculously cool for the SFL. Yes, it is. We agree. T. Roy Gaines on the carry, and he took a pop at the 25-yard line. That tackle made by Ryan Tobin, and we're getting to say just about everybody's name here in the first half.
And boy, what a gain like that on the ground does for you as an offense. Make this a very 3rd and manageable here. You can run, you can pass. It opens up the entire playbook.
2 receivers, 2 backs on a 3rd down and 3. Baltimore protecting a 6-0 advantage, and Gaines runs a player over to the 32-yard line. Vroom, vroom for a 1st down, Vultures.
Cam, this is a guy here that delivers blows without giving any type of ground, and he will wear down this defense. Gaines, knowing what he needs to gain to get that 1st down, able to stiff arm the linebacker right in the chest, Cam, and put him on the ground.
Mark Myers, the victim. 1st and 10 at the 32. 4:46 to go in the first half. Now a trip set from the left side of Dazzo. Line shifts to the right. A nickel look for Alaska. First down at the 32. Dazzo to throw. He's in some trouble. Defender got turned around, and Weber makes his. No, they said it was incomplete. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cam. I think that was a catch, but I don't know if it's worthy enough at this point to call a challenge on it, especially since that was on first down. But you can see when Alaska's able to make Dazzo uncomfortable in the pocket, even just the slight amount of uncomfortableness, those pass accuracy, it kind of starts to wane there.
102 viewers and counting. T. Roy Gaines gets 3 to make it a more third down and manageable for Mike Daggs as we welcome you back into the booth. The Cam here for opening night, and you see there back behind me that picture from the SFL convention, and thanks to league photographer Royce Walston for that beautiful gift this Christmas. 3rd down and 7 at the 35-yard line as Dazzo will throw it down the middle. Pass is caught for a first down. That's Apollo with his first catch to the 44, and he had to rise up for it, but a really nice play for the Vultures to move the chains.
Yeah, and this was just a great play call, Cam, and all slants. They spread out this Alaska defense. They slant everybody towards the middle, and Dazzo has this pick of wide open wide receivers.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Pass caught by Holder to the Alaska 41. That moves the chains again for the Vultures. First down, and they have really had an outstanding first half.
Oh, this is a bit of a heat check here by Dazzo, trying to squeeze it in 3 defenders, Cam, and able to find Daly Holder in stride. You know, the formula for yards after catch, Cam, is timing and ball placement. That pass had both.
3:12 to go in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Alaska still with a goose egg here at home, trying to defend their back-to-back championships. Popped up in the air, should have been picked. Tobin had a chance. Carroll with the initial deflection as Holder's been targeted now 5 times.
I was about to say, Cam, doesn't it feel like Baltimore's been on this offensive series for the longest amount of time? They're almost a fatal mistake. You can't let this talented Storm secondary that has players like Ryan Davis and Evan Carroll, these guys, and Ryan Tobin as well, these guys will pick off that for an interception 99% of the time and try to run it back in for a score.
3:01 to go in the first half. It is 6-0 Baltimore over Alaska, and it feels like this first half has just flown by. As it really feels like the regular season now. As T. Roy Gaines gets rid of Myers again, and if he would have been in T. Roy's car, he would have been thrown out the passenger side. It's 3rd and 4.
And the Vultures really, I think this is the way they wanted this game to unfold, Camp. They wanted to get in the end zone more than they have. They haven't gotten it yet, but they wanted to limit Alaska's offense time on the field. These long drives do that.
Just 16 offensive plays for the Storm in the first half. Dazzo back to throw, fires it out to Gaines on a 3rd down and 4, and Gaines with a vicious stiff arm but run out of bounds. This is going to be about a 49-yard field goal for Tarkington on 4th and 2. What would you do, Stephen?
Yeah, I think you take the points. You got to realize the situation here where you're at. I am a bit of a risk taker normally, but I think you could go in potentially to halftime 9-0 against Alaska in Alaska. I'd take that. I don't know if they're going to go for it. This is a long 2 yards.
Yeah, this is a very long 2 yards, and it's 3rd down. They got all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning on the other side of this, and it looks like Baltimore figures they're not going to need any of these. Might as well try to draw them off sides, get the first down, so that'll bring on Tarkington most likely, and we'll see a long field goal for the star kicker, and he had a pretty good season for Baltimore as you look at the back of Thomas Paternitti's glorious head.
Well, Cam, this is no guaranteed make here by Tarkington, despite the fact he's a contracted player. He went 15 of 18 last season, 83%. And as you said, this is a 50 yard plus maybe attempt.
Oh, they're going to punt it.
Wow, I'm sitting here looking at the punter, talking about the kicker.
I'm really surprised, Stephen. Tarkington's got the range, and instead Baltimore going to play it safe. Good punt down to the 8-yard line, and that brings us to the Quip 2-minute warning. You're watching SFL opening night on Twitch, presented by APM Music. First down and 10 at the 8. Baltimore up 6-0, choosing to punt instead of kick the field goal. And now Alaska's got all 3 timeouts, and a floater down the middle is caught by Klein. I thought Willis might have had a chance at a second interception, and instead Klein rips it out of the sky.
Well, Ron Cochran's been a quarterback in this league for quite some time now. There isn't a situation that he hasn't been in. So the veteran, even with this clock management here, he's a perfectionist when it comes to the 2-minute offense here. He runs it with perfection.
Cochran is 9 of 12 for 105 yards, and they try to run it to Merrill for a change of pace. And again, he is blasted. Albert Butler. Merrill now 5 carries for 3 yards. Williams just 1 for 4 in the first half.
And maybe a little bit too comfortable here as they're just letting this clock run. They've got all 3 timeouts. I'd probably have taken one by now, but, maybe they're just trying to get into field goal range at this point.
2nd and 11 at the 31, 1:01 to go. Still all 3 timeouts. Cochran dumps it short. Merrill is wide open. Look at the closing speed. What a shot on the sideline. Launched the player 5 yards. That was Thornberry, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Merrill trying to get out of bounds.
Yeah, they were, and they didn't. 45 seconds to go. Cochran floats it short of the sticks, and that will stall the drive. What a defensive half for the Baltimore Vultures as Alaska has to punt again.
Well, all credit to Baltimore's defense, but Alaska's been their worst enemy. Bobbling balls, we don't see that from Alaska. Ineffective running game, we don't see that from Alaska as well. These are just uncommon things. You got to maybe credit to just the new season starting up and trying to shake the rust off. But Baltimore clearly is in control of this ball game.
So it'll go back to the Vultures, who have obviously played the better half, but not much better based on the scoreboard. And we'll take this opportunity now to let you know that the Simulation Football League is sponsored by Media Tech Institute. Visit mediatech.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. 34 seconds left in the first half. And that was an exciting 2-minute offense there for Alaska. But Dazzo's got command now, and a deep shot he caught that by Warfield at midfield. What a play.
Amazing, Cam. Did he come down with it with both feet? They say that he did. Warfield here showing you why Baltimore had such trust in the rookie on this 50-50 ball. Dazzo amazingly trusts this rookie so much, Cam. He's going to throw it up here, try to get as many yards as possible. Now we have a booth review.
And we have a Harry's close shave, close call challenge here. And we're going to take a look at the catch from Warfield. Looked awesome at first glance. Wow, I think he caught that.
I did. I do as well, Cam. You remember here in the SFL, you just got to get 1 foot down.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete.
And the play does stand, and so that'll be Baltimore's ball at midfield. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time vibrations. Brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Try for 30 days and support the SFL with the promo code in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Quip, a more wholesome clean. 1st and 10 at midfield, 30 seconds to go, 6-0 Baltimore. Trips off the left. Dazzo to throw, trying to get a field goal range, and as he threw, and right into the hands of Myers, who couldn't field it, but Alfredo Maisonette makes the interception for Alaska.
Yeah, Cam, again, Dazzo trying to throw on the run here, lofts the ball up prior to getting hit, and it's just a bad miscommunication between him and his wide receiver, the rookie Warfield. had just connected on the previous play, but there, right into the hands of the linebacker, bobbles it, but his teammate able to come up with it and gives Alaska new life here.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line as Alaska gets a major turnover right before the half. Now what can they do with it? Cochran, beautiful pass to, I believe that's Klein. No, that's actually Jason Julian with the catch and a quick timeout for the Storm.
Well, Julian, an underrated tight end here in this league, has made some terrific plays in the past. And there, Cochran really just threads the needle right to his tight end in traffic. Boy, just cold-blooded on the end of Cochran. Despite of having thrown an interception in this game, had one bobbled in the last series, not giving up on his guys.
First and 10 of the 42. And off Williams, and Jason Williams gets him into field goal range. What a gutsy call as they call a timeout at the 34-yard line for Aaron DeHude with a possibility to get Alaska on the board.
Well, a little trickery here by the Storm. They need something. They need some kind of a spark. And who would think here, this late here in the second quarter, and you need to get to field goal range, you turn to your fullback. Boy, that's a big fella kicking the ball.
And they're going to kick it 51 yards, meat in his legs. And let's see if Alaska can get on the board. A 51-yard field goal for the Storm. That field goal is on its way. Oh, plenty of room. And Alaska takes the interception and makes it a 3-point game.
Well, Cam, I don't think Alaska did their kicker many favors, but they had a lot of faith with him to go for a 51-yarder. The faith that Baltimore didn't have in Shark Tarkington on the other side of the ball. Had still 12 seconds left, on the game clock. It was only second down. Run the ball maybe once or twice. Maybe try for a throw, but Alaska just happy to get on the board and go into halftime with a little momentum.
So they leave Baltimore 2 timeouts and a little bit of time. Look at that kick from the end zone now. This is being returned by forgive me, Cody Apollo, and still getting used to the triple monitor setup, although I'm sounding elitist right now, so I should probably stop.
Yeah, if you're Baltimore, I'd take a knee here, or what would essentially be a knee, maybe run the ball. Let's just go into halftime. We're up 3. Saw some positive things, although they're in the shotgun formation for some reason.
Well, 6 seconds left. Baltimore up 3. No touchdowns in the opening half here of season 12. And Dazzo is going to fire it outside. Caught by Warfield. And with 1 second left, Baltimore call a timeout because he didn't get out of bounds.
Well, I've been wrong before about this strategy here going into halftime. We've seen teams score touchdowns on improbable plays, and maybe Baltimore hoping to get that. Their rookie, though, they're sending him on a deep out, but the rookie's just so fast, Cam. He was able to get the ball, run his route, get the ball, and stop the clock with 1 second left.
Dazzo's 12 of 18 for $122. Cochran 11 of 15, 128. As you see Bain's numbers, couple of sacks here tonight. The leading receiver yardage-wise is Warfield with 49. First and 10 at the 35. And we'll see what the Vultures want to do. No Hail Mary formation. They're going to run it to Gaines. And Gaines dismisses the defender. And that's how we end the first half. What a game. Boy, can you tell? Can you tell that we're playing regular season ball?
Yes, we can. Yeah, we are.
End of the first half. 6-3 Baltimore. Stats and analysis is next. First half stats, let's take a look. 205 to 144. 5 minutes more time of possession. Each team has a turnover. What stands out to you, Stephen?
Well, obviously the TOP, time of possession. Baltimore really having some long drives there, especially the one at the end of the second quarter. But they just didn't turn. It didn't turn out to give them any points, and neither team able to get in the end zone. While Alaska's really been the closest, and they had that interception right there in the end zone. Their offense just looked stale, especially their running attack, which we had major questions coming into this game. How would Robert Merrill translate from wide receiver to running back? Starting to get that answer a little bit, as on the other side, T-Roy Gage is running like a madman. But again, that hasn't transitioned in the red zone like it probably should have for Baltimore. So both teams really playing a defensive battle and one where the offenses have stalled a little bit, very much so on Alaska's side of the ball with them dropping balls, not being able to run the ball. But we see flashes of what made them a champion, and I think we're going to see more of that in the second half. And the key for me is for Baltimore, can Mike Dazzo steady himself in the pocket and when he feels pressured, not turn the ball over or feel like he has to throw quickly.
Well, we're about to find out, and while we're waiting to find out here on the halftime highlights, as you look at the interception, Baltimore and Alaska played just one time in their history, Stephen, and it was a lot of interesting names in that game.
Yeah, we talked about the quarterbacks, Murdoch Mock for Alaska, Andrew Rastelli for Baltimore. Check out some of these older names. Alaska's running back, Justin Beakley Jr. Baltimore's wide receivers, Mike Osai and Kendall Gilbert. They also had a running back by the name of Sanzo Robinson. Baltimore had a great defense with Eddie Gage and Tyleek Jones and Aaron Lee. Some of the names that we know now that are on other teams and stars for other teams, they were all here and got their start here in Baltimore. So it just shows you, that's just February 26th of 2017. So not even 2 years ago, and there's been so much change, and even the change of the name of the Baltimore from the Crabs to the Vultures. So exciting times here in the SFL.
Just a 30-23 ball game, a very, very close contest, and I think the only time that Thomas Paternitti has matched up with Max Paul, that game went to overtime. So lots of fun stuff here to go in the second half, and we know which way the wind's blowing. Holy crap, what a kick as Apollo has to take a knee 5 yards deep in the end zone. Alaska's offense producing just 3 points in that first half. Who's got to step it up?
Well, for me, it's Robert Merrill. I mean, clearly they need to try. If they're going to give him the ball and start running him more, they're going to run Jason Williams, and Merrill's got to step up on Alaska's side of the ball. But for Baltimore, T-Roy Gaines is running like a monster. Need to see a little bit more consistency from the passing game.
10:59 to go, and T-Roy Gaines picks up 9 to start the first half. 85 yards for Gaines, averaging 6 yards a carry this evening.
And what a debut here, season debut for Gaines. He's been playing lights out. We saw this, Cam, in the preseason, so totally expected. I'm sure Alaska put a lot of time in trying to figure out how to stop this big fella. Hasn't worked so far tonight.
Shout outs to Eric JDWA, who is running our score stream tonight. Make sure if you haven't downloaded the score stream app, please do follow your favorite team or all the SFL teams to get up-to-date scoring action. MeUndies Laundry on the field as Gaines going to pick up a first down. That'll be declined. T-Roy Gaines having his way with this Alaska front seven.
Yeah, the Vultures are really kind of having their way here early in this game, and as the Storm, you can't give up plays like this, especially not on these close first downs, because you're just giving them more and more opportunities and lessening the opportunities for your explosive offense.
Coming up tomorrow, we'll be in St. Louis for the Dallas Lobos and the St. Louis Gladiators, getting together the number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft in the ball game. That's Friday Night Lights tomorrow on the SFL Network on Twitch. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Hand off to Gaines, and Gaines is stuffed by Kevin Bain. Just a 1-yard pickup to bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, just Bain is just simply better than Gaines' blockers were there, as his blockers actually bypassed that defensive line, looking to other people to block, and it just left the surprisingly speedy Gaines to get on. Bain to get on to Gaines. This Gaines thing, that's tough, man.
2nd down and 9, and the pass caught by Weber, and they give him the first down. I don't know about that. He did stretch out at the end, but boy.
Yeah, that was very generous by the official. We often see it go the other way with these guys in stripes. They're usually shortchanging these guys. But if you're Baltimore in Alaska, you're going to take it for sure.
And that last effort there by Weber to stretch out beyond the sticks gets him the first. No challenge from Alaska. Dazzo pitches it out to Gaines. Gaines stiff arm, and Gaines picks up 4. Carroll making the tackle on the outside. 2nd down and 6. Shout-outs. Cody SFL. LX Clinton. TMG 82. Warhammer 62. X the Brown Knight. Iceman Gervin 44. R. Cochran, Eric JDWA, Ethan Kai 66, Hendricks Thorne, and many, many others. Orb Father in the chat room as well. Thanks for being here tonight on opening night. Back to pass is Dazzo, and Dazzo took a shot, but Daly Holder gets catch number 4 of the night. First down into Alaska territory.
We'll give credit to the big uglies on that one, Cam. In order to make a play like that work, you need to have time in the pocket and give time for that play to develop so that Holder can run that bit of a long route that he had to run. And as you said, Dazzo got hit in the pocket, trying to extend that play as long as he could.
8:30 to go in the third. What a tight ball game here tonight. Dazzo's in trouble, and he goes down. Sack in the backfield for Bain again, loss of 6.
And Kevin Bain just building on that 11-sack season that he had last year. And with Alex Dominguez shifting from defensive tack to defensive end, Cam, they're bookending this line with these talented pass rushers. And you know that one is really going to just like sharpen the other. And so far, Baines has really benefited from having Dominguez on the other side.
2nd and 16, handoff to Gaines, and Gaines drags defenders to try to make it a more manageable third down. We've seen that a couple times out of Baltimore tonight. Tobin on the tackle. That is carry number 17 for Gaines for 96 yards.
Yeah, a lot of times when they get in trouble on first down, they call Gaines' number on second down to try to make that third more manageable. Still a tough 3rd and 12 here, but they are in Alaska's territory.
7:36 to go in the third. Dazzo took a shot, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. Bishop Warfield, unbelievable throw from Dazzo under duress.
Well, this Alaska defensive line did their job. They got pressure on the quarterback. The unfortunate thing is the rookie Warfield got tons of separation in the secondary as Dazzo really just heaves this one up. And it's this corner route here run by Warfield just to perfection that leaves number 29, Evan Carroll, in his dust. And it's just kind of a Hail Mary play that just happened to work out into Baltimore's favor there as Warfield was so wide open, the rush pass by Dazzo didn't matter.
100 bits from T-Pattern80 for the Dazzo to Warfield connection, and Neon Killer just dumped 1,000 in the chat room. Thank you so much, Neon Killer. Getting it hyped for the season, I'm sure. Tarkington's extra point is up, and it is good, and it's 13-3 Baltimore. And with that, the SFL is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. Also by MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. Quip, perfect oral care delivered. And also by Richards Printworks, the official shop of the SFL. This is Paul on the return, down 10 at home with 7:26 to go in the third. I know it's a long game, Stephen Molinex, but wow, Baltimore could not have asked for a better start.
Well, thank you, Cam and Irvine. Yeah, you're right. Baltimore is in the catbird seat, but they cannot feel comfortable here. You got to remember, you're in Alaska. This is the 2-time back-to-back world champions. They have squeaked out of tighter spaces than this. You've got to try and maintain them. I actually think this works into the Storm's hands here.
7:26 to go. Passing a lot more in the second half, I'm sure. Cochran's pass over the middle is caught a little bit behind the intended receiver, Galliano, but he stretches out to make the reception, pickup of 6 yards, and just missed. Who made that tackle? My apologies.
Well, Alaska here, again, strategically near perfection, sending everyone long and making all those secondary defenders go out long with them, and then undercutting with the receiver there. So, again, able to scheme some things open and hopefully get this offense going here.
Cochran, quick throw, a backwards pass as Williams was so well defended by Hendricks Thornberry on the outside.
Yeah, and Cam, you got to know that Baltimore absolutely understands that Alaska likes to run throw those little swing and screen passes, and they're playing man defense in order to try and mitigate that.
A big third down here, 3rd down and 4 at the 33-yard line. 3 receivers all out to the far side of the field. Cochran going that direction, passes caught, and Klein got to the sticks, first down to the 38-yard line.
Well, when you're 6'4", 218, it helps you get those extra inches that you need for the first down. And there, Klein, the veteran, able to take his really just his torso and contort it in a way to get across that yellow line.
100 bits from Donger 922. Ron Cochran is now 14 of 18, 142 yards. And that is Como's second catch. Klein has 3. Handoff to Merrill, and he is buried by Amon Takes. Only a 3-yard gain, and that was Takes' biggest hit of the night.
And Cam, I think this is why the Storm have been so successful in our league the last couple of seasons, is that when they get down like this, they put the onus on their passing game, and the passing game has been their strength through these championship seasons.
2nd and 7, 5:26 to go, third quarter. Alaska still looking for their first touchdown, and Klein couldn't get around Joe Dazzo. Really tight coverage down the field, just the 5th incompletion for Cochran, and it's 3rd and 7.
And this could be a game-changing 3rd and 7 here. If the Baltimore's defense is able to hold Alaska here and get a turnover and get the ball back into their offense's hands, with the way that T-Roy Gaines is running, he could run out the clock on the third quarter, and they could go into the 4th with the ball and the 10-point lead.
Trips left for Cochran. Cochran going to throw. Deep drop back. And Ron finds an open receiver caught in traffic. The defense was closing in on Jeff Como, and he makes a sensational grab.
If Cochran holds that ball just a millisecond later, that ball is either tipped or intercepted. And the pressure was right in Cochran's face. Again, the guy is ice cold, stares down his receiver, makes the perfect pass on the money.
1st and 10 to the 48. Cochran going to throw. Cochran going down. Sack for the Baltimore Vultures, and that is number 62, Miles Jackson.
And finally, they get penetration there on this great Alaska offensive line, who has been giving Cochran just enough time, but just great individual effort right there, Cam, by number 62, able to penetrate through what has been the Great Wall of Alaska for the past 2 seasons.
Lots of sacks on first down tonight, forcing 2nd and longs for these offenses. Cochran steps up in the pocket. I don't know how he didn't get sacked. Merrill picks up 6 before Joe Dazzo takes him down as you look at the updated quarterback numbers. And I got to say, Stephen, that Joe Dazzo and Amon Takes have not lost a step. This is one of the best 1-2 punches I've seen ever in the SFL.
Yeah, and the great Amon Takes, really declaring his presence in the league before he even got drafted, was voted to the Pro Bowl, so he lived up to all that hype we know about Dazzo.
Cochran going to throw. Cochran sidearm ball to the middle of the field, and again that's caught. This pass complete to Joshua Paul, and boy, Alaska's doing a nice job of hanging on in traffic, but short of the first down. They're going to have to punt again.
Well, this game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage, make no doubt about that. And Baltimore, for the second time in a row, able to really crush that pocket that Cochran's sitting him, making him uncomfortable, having him go to a throw short of the first down mark.
So Tutu will punt it away with 3:20 to go in the third quarter, and tracking the ball and stopping at the 3-yard line. Phenomenal play by Ramal Hernandez.
Yeah, almost stumbling on himself a little bit to try and wrangle this ball in, able to do so and just stop short of the end zone. But Cam, there aren't many teams built better to handle this kind of short yardage situation near their goal line than Baltimore with T-Roy Gaines in the backfield.
At the 4, Baltimore's been pinned inside the 10 before, pinned at the 8-yard line. They're going to throw. Dazzo into quadruple coverage, popped up off the foot of Weber, and the pass is incomplete. Did you see that, Stephen? On his way down, the ball rocketed off his foot and nearly resulted in an interception.
Well, I tell you, I know one drill that the defensive coordinator is going to be running for Alaska next week. I mean, these guys have had some open opportunities to get some interceptions like that one. That one, it doesn't come any easier than that with the ball getting tipped way up in the air and giving time for people to get under it.
Dazzo now 16 of 22. Quarterback numbers almost identical. T-Roy Gaines picks up 5 to bring up third down and 5. The only difference, that touchdown for Dazzo to Warfield, who's got 89 yards on 5 receptions in his first game.
Got to try to find a way to convert this here if you're Baltimore. 3rd and 5. I would still probably call T-Roy Gaines' number, but They did throw on first down, and that put them in this situation. Can't give Alaska's offense a short field.
Gaines won't get there, not even close, as he's wrapped up by Masonet, who had an interception in the first half. 300 bits from NT Hund for the 100 views, and who knows, maybe we'll have 300 or so on a consistent basis someday.
We can always dream, right, Cal? A punt. This really works out well for Alaska, giving them a short field. Maybe it'll spark their offense, something you don't want to happen if you're Baltimore.
From the 40 on the return, and Ray Bentley in the chat just said, it's been fun, but I've got to head to bed. Just share your thoughts on going to bed at 9 o'clock, Steven. Is that something that you would do routinely?
I probably should, and probably most of us out there probably should.
Oh, now he's going to make me feel bad because he just dropped 6,000 bits. Way to go, Ray. Way to go. Thanks a lot. That's the worst I've ever felt on air. Cochran, deep ball down the field, is caught at the Baltimore 18-yard line by Klein for the first down.
Well, they needed a spark, and you're going to go to OC, and you're going to go to the OG, the OC of this offense here, and Optimus Klein, as again, Cochran able to thread the needle, and Klein able to get in front of the defender, and is such a big target at 6'4". Those numbers, those 88, they probably at this point glow for Cochran anytime that he sees them, because he wants to get it to the big fella.
If you're going to go out like Ray. That's all I got to say. 1:40 to go in the third, and Klein having himself a big night, all things considered, as Robert Merrill gets pushed forward for a 4-yard pickup tackle made by Miles Jackson, who had the sack at the start of the quarter.
Well, that's the thing, Cam. If you're going to bed this early, you're probably an older gentleman. And older gentlemen, the one thing they do usually have is money. So that makes sense.
Boy, you are a life savant, aren't you? 2nd and 6 at the 14. Cochran is going to throw to the back corner of the end zone. Caught! What a jump ball! Touchdown, Jeff Como and the Storm.
Cam, you got to get up to get down. And Como here, able to put on the go-go gadget jets and legs and grabs that ball out of the air. This is a snatch, Cam, in front of the defender. This guy was coming up last season, Cam. We thought he was a candidate to be a #1 wide receiver, maybe somewhere else in free agency. Decides to stay with the champions, and for good reason. 6'6" there, playmaker. This guy is the ultimate end zone threat.
Wow. I mean, a jump ball, what else can you ask for? Jeff Como had a heck of a season, 12, and he's off to a strong start here tonight. Como now with 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown as DeHood hits the extra point, and it's 13-10. Vultures lead is down to 3.
Yeah, and if you're Baltimore, this is all, because they weren't able to get out of their shadow of their own end zone and goalpost, and gave Alaska good field position, something they hadn't done all game.
What a kick, another fantastic kick. The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House, by ScoreStream, the official scoring app of the SFL, and Spygoat, the sound choice. T-Roy Gaines, 19 carries, 103 yards, 106 to go in the third. 1st and 10 at the 20. 2 receivers, 1 to either side, hand off to Gaines. And Gaines got rid of, boy, he's got Mark Meyer's number. That is just a disgusting mismatch as Gaines picks up 3. He's over 100 yards still with 106.
Yeah, and it's just, he's been assigned the job, and the difficult task of trying to wrangle this big running back. And, he's just having to take the brunt of it at this point, but you gotta know that one of them's going to wear the other one down. You don't know which one's going to go down first.
2nd down and 7 to the 23. Hand off to Gaines. Not a lot of room there. Dominguez was about to make the stop, but instead Masonet gets the tackle. 3rd and 6 as we tick down to the end of the third.
And, Baltimore still staying with their strategy. They're not pushing the ball They're not trying to throw the bomb to try and put a score up on the scoreboard necessarily. They're still running this clock.
Handoff, Gaines, first down on 3rd down and 6, up to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 10.
And I actually think he's kind of wearing down a little bit. He looked a little slower than he has been there in the first half, but just the blocking was perfect. Had a huge running length.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. This is the Simulation Football League on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music. 107 viewers, a close ball game here on opening night, as the Vultures just get the first on 3rd down and 6 on a run play to Gaines, his 22nd carry, 23rd carry here. Gaines will not be able to break through, a 3-yard pickup, and the tackle made by Pierre Lyon as you look at the updated numbers for Gaines. And I think the big question here is, where is Big Sexy?
Well, they're mitigating the effect of Big Sexy, who's now, remember, shifted from defensive tackle to defensive end. So a lot of these runs have been attacking what they consider to be the soft interior of this defensive line.
And off to Gaines. Gaines, another first down, just bowling over people, as Carroll was the most recent guy to get rejected. Tobin makes the tackle.
Well, Cam, we've talked about how this guy loves to blow up defenders. Here, just puts the shoulder into Evan Carroll. It's a nightmare matchup there for any of the secondary players to have to try to bring down this tank of a running back.
Hendricks Thorne in the chat, Jesus, don't do it to him. My goodness. 1st and 10 at the 45. 2 in the backfield for Dazzo. Dazzo, quick throw out the Gaines, one-on-one. Really nice job on the outside, wrapping him up quickly. That's a number 36 that we don't have on the roster, so our apologies there, but only a gain of 1.
Well, you understand the strategy here.
Sorry, Andrew Francis on the tackle. My apologies.
No problem. You understand the strategy here. They're trying to keep this Alaska offense off the field slowly and steadily, running the clock on this game.
Dazzo out of the gun, 2nd down and 9. And Dazzo takes a deep shot, got crushed again. Looking for Holder down the field, 3rd down as Bain was in on him. And I want to give Francis some extra love here. 4th season player in Alaska, 5'11", 230, moved to safety this year and had a preseason high 15 solo tackles in their loss to Denver.
Yeah, and actually last season, you can kind of see why they wanted to move him to strong safety. 21 tackles for loss, Cam. Had an interception as a linebacker, so he has the skills that translate well to the safety position.
3rd and 9 of the 46. Back to pass as Dazzo avoids a sack and then steps right up into one. Another sack for Kevin Bain. That is number 4 in his Storm debut, and then steps right over him.
Well, Cam, remember, this is a guy who only had 11 sacks last season. I say alone, having double-digit sacks in the league was kind of unheard of just a few seasons ago. But he has just benefited so much from this situation, lining up against or with Alex Dominguez, Cam. As you mentioned, 4 sacks in a game already.
From the 16, not a lot of room for Paul to return. So this is from the 18-yard line. 9 minutes to go. There is plenty of time. And Alaska is right in this game. They have more passing yards than Baltimore. And if you can believe this, just 18 rushing yards on 8 carries tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't think Merrill's really had a great debut. The linebackers here, we've talked about them for Baltimore. They've had a lot to do with his limited action here tonight. But again, I think it plays well into Alaska's strategy. They like to pass the ball, and they're the best in the league at what they do.
9 minutes left. Cochran's pass caught by Galliano, and they mark him short of the 1st down. Tackle made by Benjamin Paul.
And this is kind of the area where, now they have so many different things they can do, Alaska, but maybe the best thing they can do in a situation like this, they have a star fullback in Jason Williams, and almost had 1,000 yards last season. Be a perfect place to maybe use his skills.
Hand off Williams, and Williams, boy, it took a while, but he got the 1st down at the 28-yard line. The last time Alaska lost in this building was February 18th. You know who they lost to, Stephen?
February 18th, no.
San Francisco Sharks.
That's right. Yes.
That's the last home loss for this Storm team, not counting that preseason game against Denver.
Such a long time ago, too. That's just a tremendous run by this Storm team. One of the best dynasties ever to be in the SFL.
1st and 10 of the 28. Cochran back to pass. Cochran fires outside, and it's caught for a 6-yard pickup. That pass complete to Como. Como's got 4 catches now, as does Klein. 6 grabs for Merrill for 32 yards quietly.
And that's really what has been their running game, Cameron. You know, just those short outs. They gained the 5 to 6 yards that you would get on a good and decent run that Merrill hasn't been producing here.
3 receivers for Cochran on a 2nd and 4. 3-step drop. Here comes some pressure. Cochran got it away, and he had to throw it almost like an overthrow. That was a really smart play from Cochran, because if he would have left that short, that was a pick 6, and this game might be over.
Yeah, that was Joe Dazzo that was out there having to cover in the flat, and we saw the speed that the veteran showed. Despite it being his 7th season, he still has the speed of a cornerback. Nearly got his big paw on that one, but as you mentioned, Cochran really just throwing that ball away.
3rd down and 4 at the 34. 3 receivers for Cochran. This is a monstrous 3rd down for the Storm, down 3. Cochran looking middle, caught, 1st down to the 44-yard line. That's Klein with a pickup of about 14.
And that's been the difference, Cam, is that Mike Dazzo, the Baltimore quarterback, when he gets pressure in the pocket, he has to move and he looks uncomfortable. Cochran gets pressure right in his face, and he's like a statue. He sits in there, takes the hit, delivers the perfect ball.
Cochran deep drop now, fires near side, bad up in the air and intercepted. No McFly zone, has the pick. Kaz McFly down to the Storm 31-yard line.
And this is what this kid was known for, Cam. Game-changing plays. No rookie last season made the kind of splash that McFly did. The Pro Bowler in his 1st season shows why he was elected to that All-Star game with the pick in Alaska, up 3, 6 minutes to go.
Anthony George was the man to get the deflection, but McFly has his 1st interception of the season, and that's the 2nd interception for Ron Cochran, 22 of 28 for 238. Dazzo going to hand it off to Gaines as Baltimore goes back to the running game. Oh, T-Roy, get out of the way. 5-yard pickup to the 26.
Cam, this is a guy with a bull in a china shop mentality. He runs with a head of steam, and he barrels through defenders' bodies. I don't know why you're not calling this guy's name probably through this entire series, other than the fact that at some point he's going to need some bench time.
6:30 to go, 133 yards on 25 carries for Gaines. Back to pass, Dazzo. Dazzo taking a deep shot. Caught! Touchdown, Warfield! What a play! Warfield's 2nd of the night.
Cam, what a debut for this kid. And what a catch to get the ball in front of the defender. Let's take a look at this here on the replay as Warfield, just running a post route, crossing with another wide receiver, simply gets in front of number 36 and able to snatch the ball away from Andrew Francis, the linebacker, probably still learning his position at safety. Gets one taken away from him there by the rookie.
Man, oh man, Bishop Warfield, 115 yards, 6 receptions, and 2 touchdowns. He has not missed on a target tonight. And Tarkington's extra point is up and good, and my, Thomas Paternitti is back, folks. A 2-time champion in the SFL, just like Max Paul, the 2 head coaches tonight. And he is making some things happen on the road. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, /SimulationFL, hashtag Make an Impact, as we are just getting things kicked off in Season 12. This one has started with a bang from the 5-yard line. This is Paul on the return. Got a spin move inside of the 26. We welcome you back in to the SFL broadcast booth. And we have quite the upset on our hands right now, Stephen.
Yeah, possible upset. I think for those people that haven't watched the SFL for long, may not understand the magnitude that we sit here with. This is a team in Alaska that hasn't lost a game, as Cam mentioned earlier, in nearly a year.
6:18 to go in the 4th quarter, and Cochran going to drop back to throw. Cochran got nailed and put a laser to Optimus Klein at the 41-yard line. Cochran's now got 245.
And showing you the stalwart effort that he has put in the last couple of seasons in Cochran. You know that in pressure situations, he's going to go to his number one guy in Klein. But let's not forget, he's got a guy in Jeff Como that can make tremendous plays for him as well. But Cochran, really just a veteran, a statue in the pocket. You got to love that he has complete control of this offense, unfazed by the interception.
Couple hundred bits from T-Pat, couple hundred bits from Cochran and Neon Killer as well. Didn't miss you guys either as Jeff Como slides for a first down to the Vulture 49-yard line, and Alaska looks angry offensively.
Yeah, because they just haven't been in this situation very much, Cam, in the last couple of seasons. I can't remember the last time they were down double digits, honestly, in the fourth quarter like this late, but surely, again, unfazed. They've been in these kind of situations before and come out victorious.
Williams gets the handoff. Las Vegas, anyone? I think that was a 21-point. Now, it might not have been the fourth quarter to give you some credit, Stephen, but
well, and Vancouver too. I mean, thinking back, Vancouver had an opportunity to win the game there at the end with a touchdown.
Just feels like they've never lost because they've never lost, or at least over the last couple of years or a couple of seasons.
But we're talking about more than one score as well.
Lee Pato on live stats. Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine. 4:46 to go in the fourth. Cochran flips it out to Williams. Williams race for the sticks. Won't get there. McFly and Dazzo combine for the tackle. It's third down and just one, and the clock stops.
Yeah, and it might be more important to stop that clock at this point rather than try to convert when you can do a 3rd and 1 here and get something short. But these seconds are going to be so precious here momentarily for the Alaska Storm.
Third down, 1 to go, 4:43 to go, fourth quarter. Ball at the Baltimore 40-yard line. Out of the gun. Cochran to throw. Cochran had a man open, and he stepped up in the pocket. Como was wide open on the outside, and Abraham forces the fourth down.
Yeah, just a rare mental mistake by Cochran there. Instead of, like you said, he was locked in on a receiver. Not seeing Como on the short little out route there, could have got easily the conversion for the first down.
Oh my goodness!
And it looks like they're gonna attempt a field goal.
This would be an SFL record 57-yard field goal. You're looking at history, folks. If DeHude can put Alaska within one score from 57 yards away, the superstar kicker is no good. He just missed it. It was so close, and Baltimore will get the ball around midfield.
Well, if he makes it, he's the hero. If he misses it, he's the zero, right, Cam? But I just don't think he just barely missed that too right under the bar. But I don't think Alaska put their rookie in a very good position, Cam, to try and put 3 points on the board that far out. I would prefer them to go for it on 4th and 1, but their running game, it's kind of been questionable. Maybe that's why they decided to go for the field goal now.
Man, they're going to look back at that Cochran incompletion to the outside, and they're going to say, oh, what did we give away? As Gaines picks up 2, up to 135, just 23 rushing yards for Alaska, and the time is running out on the two-time champs who went undefeated last year.
Well, we give all the credit to, the Baltimore defense, but again, Alaska's just made some weird calls here and have missed some opportunities that could have put them ahead in this ball game, honestly.
2nd down and 8 at the 49. Dazzo, milking clock, 18 of 25 tonight. Hand off to Gaines. Gaines can't get away. 3rd and 4. Nice wrap-up. Solo tackle from Hernandez.
Yeah, able to get the shoestring tackle there on the big fella. You gotta do more than just get your arms around the guy. You gotta just get any piece that you can. But man, this Cam, I think, as you mentioned, I think the Storm's going to look back at that decision there, and just really question whether they needed to go for the field goal or try to continue that drive and get a first down.
115 viewers right now watching to see if the Alaska Storm can actually be defeated. 3rd down and 4 at the 47 for Dazzo. Huge 3rd down. Handoff, Gaines. First down, T. Roy Gaines. And the clock will keep on ticking.
Well, the big fella coming up big in the crucial moments there. That's going to allow Baltimore to be able to take this past the 2-minute warning, which doesn't necessarily seal the game, but puts Baltimore in a very favorable position to come away with what many people would believe to be an upset. And boy, Cam, if they are able to get this win, what does that say about the start of our season if Baltimore is able to slay the undefeated dragon that has been Alaska?
Yeah, I'm sure Thomas Paternitti and Tim Johnston are not counting their chickens until they see triple zeros, knowing who they're playing. 1st and 10 at the 40. Alaska can't give up another first down. High formation for Dazzo, hands it off to Gaines. Gaines hurdles, and then Gaines can't go anywhere. Look at Kevin Bain is there again. He has been the best player for the Alaska on the field tonight.
Yeah, and his effort may be in vain as Alaska here staring down a 10-point deficit for Baltimore. Need to try and at least get into field goal range here, Cam. If you're not able to convert this first down, although they probably want to, they should let this run down to the 2-minute warning. I don't want to see him snap here.
And they will. It's the Quip 2-minute warning. The Baltimore Vultures and the Alaska Storm doing some serious battle here on opening night. Dazzo handoff to Gaines, and T-Roy got a lot. 3rd and 3 now at the 32. Alaska will burn their first time out, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is for the ball game.
Yes, sir. If they can convert this short 3rd and 3, they can essentially just run this clock out on this game and pull away, really leave Alaska with one of the biggest upsets that I can remember. Although, Baltimore, let's not forget, they were 9-3 last season. They're no chumps.
But back-to-back defending champs. That's something. 3rd down and 3 at the 32. Gaines one more time. T-Roy Gaines! Unbelievable run as he drags 2 defenders and seals the game for Baltimore.
Yeah, the hefty Gaines just says, you know what, let's just go ahead and end it right here. I'll just put this game on my shoulders, and we'll go ahead and just convert this first down. Wow, what a terrific regular season debut by Gaines and Baltimore, putting their stamp early on this season, slaying the undefeated Alaska Storm potentially.
And off Gaines again, carry number 32 on the night. No timeouts left. $1:55 for Gaines now, as it's coming in $1:60. Again, shout out to Lee Pato in the live stats room and all of our crew here tonight on the SFL Network on Twitch, as Alaska's out of timeouts.
And Cam, let's remember also the fact that this is the first game of the season, and there's no tape really on any of these teams. So there's going to be someone to come into Alaska's house and pull out a victory. Being the first one to come in, not have any tape for the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinators to review. That's on both sides, honestly. So this is a straight up great win by Baltimore, taking nothing away from them. But let's remember Alaska and how well that they strategize and coach. And they've got a bye week actually heading into week 2. So they're going to have to carry the sting of this defeat into week 2. They play Sioux Falls in week 3. And boy, I wouldn't want to be the Sparrows having to fight an angry Alaska team.
Man.
But Alaska's going to have to go into Sioux Falls in January. So potentially winter-like weather could be an all-timer there. But boy, the Vultures, what a franchise moment for them, Cam. Coming back into the league last season, reestablishing themselves as the Vultures, and this is as their greatest win and something they can build their season on.
Now, my mistake, did the math wrong just a bit. Baltimore's going to have to kick the field goal here, as they took no chances with a couple of kneel downs. Did not want to have a turnover. They're going to try to go up 13 here. And there's so little time left. Alaska has no timeouts. This is a 44-yard field goal. That's good for the Vultures. So now it's 23-10. And Alaska needs a miracle.
Yeah, that's why I was hesitant to say that they've sealed the game. I mean, clearly it's a two score game, and more than just regular scores are going to need touchdowns. And they just they've only been able to produce one all night against this great Baltimore defense that really showed up tonight on all three levels. Cam and the great interception by McFly and this great linebacker core that's been able to really spoil the debut for Robert Merrill as a running back.
Tomorrow night in the booth, Andy Hamilton will be sitting right here next to me as he comes to SFL Studios for the first time. We always love welcoming our broadcasters here to headquarters, and he'll be calling the Dallas-St. Louis game with me tomorrow night. And then Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, early, right before the NFL playoffs kick off, we've got Rivalry Night, a special afternoon edition as Tulsa hosts Oklahoma City. Colin and Rick Northrup will be on the call for that as that ball is knocked away as Tony Willis was in coverage.
Yeah, Cam, this Baltimore defense is keyed up right now. They know that they've got victory in hand, and all but certain here with 18 seconds left. And boy, you just can't say enough about what this means for the Vultures and their prospects. And as far as for the Storm, they're gonna have to hold on to this defeat for a couple weeks, Cam. That's rough.
Second down, Cochran out of the gun, down 23-10 to the Vultures. Deep shot, Ron Cochran nearly picked again. Giovanni Bolton coverage. Has not had a pick tonight, but is covered well down the field. Cochran now 25 of 34.
Yeah, you record 10 interceptions in the season like he did last year, and you're for sure having an effect on what Alaska's trying to do in the passing game. Probably not going to try and attack your side of the field much tonight, and they really haven't.
Third down, 13 seconds left. Storm playing out the stretch here. This is big of a shock as I can remember. Not that Alaska lost, but that they've lost by 13 here unless they can do something in the final 9 seconds. Lloyd knocks that one away. 4th and 10. What a dominating performance here.
Yeah, and they're finishing it off strong here, not willing to give Alaska anything in their house. They want to leave a lasting statement. In case these two meet again, they want them to remember the taste of this defeat.
Well, season 12 is underway. You can see all of the new presentation of the SFL Network. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation of the SFL. Got post-game coming up still, so don't go anywhere as we break down all of these games from these awesome players tonight. That's picked off. Intercepted, 3 seconds left. Is that Thornberry? Yes, it is. Both corners for Baltimore get an interception tonight.
Yeah, and for Cochran, a 3-interception game, and the veteran's going to take it on the chin in this one, and they're going to have to find a way to get back into it. But ironically, Cam, this might be exactly what the Alaska Storm needs. The pressure of being undefeated will cause teams to crack, and it can be a permanent crack if you're not careful. So maybe what else the Storm needs to do really in these 2 weeks is reflect back, see what they could have done differently, and I really don't think this is going to set back the Storm very much. But what it does, even more for Baltimore, is it gives hope to every other team here in the SFL in this season 12 debut that they could be the champions, as the back-to-back champions have been foiled.
Look at those numbers. 5 or 7 plus minutes of time of possession dominance, over 150 yards rushing and passing. And next on Baltimore's schedule is Las Vegas on the 13th in Las Vegas. And I wouldn't want to be the Fury either, having to take on what may be the new number 1 team in the power rankings. Who knows? Look at Kevin Bain, 4 sacks tonight in a loss. And Steven, ultimately, what's your takeaway from this? Very early in the season, long way to go, but what an impressive win on a very, very long road trip for the Vultures.
Well, I think it's the formulas. The formula worked for Baltimore, and it didn't work for Alaska when it typically does. The Baltimore's formula coming into this game was to have a balanced offense, but they wanted to keep Alaska's offense off the field by sustaining these long drives. And we saw just T. Roy Gaines was unstoppable tonight. When he needed a big gain, he got it. When he needed a first down, 35 got it for them. and their passing game did enough to supplement him. On the other side, the running game was nearly non-existent when it came to Robert Merrill, and it was pretty good when it went to Jason Williams. Just didn't go to him enough tonight. But typically what happens is Alaska's formula is if they can't run the ball, they will always fall back to the old reliable, which has been the passing game. And Ron Cocker tonight made those turnover mistakes, and although he did connect with his receivers a few times for big plays, it just wasn't enough to overcome their shortcomings and a great defensive performance by Baltimore.
Player of the game, Warfield, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 receptions, and probably the play of the game, Stephen, the long shot and a wide open catch for Warfield on that first touchdown that kind of blew this game open. What a night for the rookie.
And I'd be probably splitting that with T. Roy Gaines, the amount they used that big fella tonight and how much he came through for them.
So as we take a look ahead to tomorrow night, Dallas takes on St. Louis, battle of the number 1 and number 2 draft picks on Friday Night Lights, January 4th, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Final thoughts, Stephen?
Well, Alaska goes down in the initial game of the season, the first game of the season, and it really sends a message and ripples this earthquake throughout the league now that the champion is dead. Long live the new champion here in the SFL, and it could be your team, it could be the Lobos, it could be the Gladiators, it could be anyone now because the Giant is dead.
That's tomorrow night, and for now, that's it for us. For Lee Pato, Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the SFL Network on Twitch. Good night, everybody.
Way goodbye, Cam.